Detective Inugami was on his way to a small village when his tire broke. Depressed, the landlady of the inn came and gave him a ride. She was the one who had hired him to investigate the rotting animal carcasses that had suddenly appeared in the village. While looking around the inn, Inugami noticed a boy working in the field. That night, while soaking in hot water, Inugami asked the waiter about the boy. After taking a bath, Inugami asked to be served by Dorotabou in the future. During the meal, Inugami asked the boy about recent events, and learned that Dorotabou was the one who handled rotting animal carcasses. Dorotabou is brought along by Inugami to assist him with his investigation. He asked Dorotabou about the bracelet he was wearing, but he didn't know where it came from. Since he had worn it since he was a child, he guessed it belonged to his parents. Inugami said that this is a life stone, a very precious stone, so he thinks that he is not abandoned by his parents. Tadamaru was angry at Dorotabou for losing his job, so he went to Dorotabou to cause trouble. Tadamaru accidentally turns Dorotabou into a demon and scares him. Inugami saw Dorotabou holding his head in torment and went to comfort him. He reveals that he is a hybrid of a human and a yokai, and that Dorotabou is a lover just like him. The life stone was what had curbed his bloodlust. Tadamaru was threatened by Dorotabou to run into the forest, and he was attacked by a group of demons. Fortunately, Inugami and Dorotabou ran to save him. They find out that the culprit of the dead animals in the village is a demon bear. Dorotabou leapt forward and with a single punch dealt the monster with ease. Inugami says that he was hired by Mistress to kill Dorotabou, and asks him if he wants to see his parents again. Dorotabou wants him to kill you. However, because he is an immortal demon, he cannot die. So Inugami brought him back to his mysterious investigation office. He arranged for him to work here and he revealed his real name was Kabani. Inugami said his office specializes in dealing with cases involving demons. Here, Kabani meets two new friends, Shiki and Akira. Akira is an ice elf and Shiki is a half-demon. Akira is very welcoming to him, but Shiki often tries to show his displeasure to look cool. Kabani thought Akira was a girl, but it turned out that he was a boy. Akira and Shiki also had nowhere else to go, so Inugami took them to live in this office. Shiki asked Kabani why he came here, and he was amazed at Kabani's self-healing power. Inugami's office is invited to handle a case where the culprit is the Sansichu bug. Normally they are quite harmless, but it is very dangerous to sniff out human sin. Shiki had used silk to keep the bugs off, but it seemed to be useless as the bug ate his silk. Inugami decided to go into the room where the bugs were being kept to deal with them. But just when he was about to go inside, Kabani stopped him and asked to go inside himself. As an immortal demon, Kabani cannot die and does not feel pain. Sansichu's poison also has no effect on him because he has no blood, and even the emotion of fear has been hardened by his miserable childhood. Kabani easily handled the bugs and saved the lives of the mother and daughter. Upon seeing the victim's family reunited, Kabani was touched and felt like he wanted to see his parents again. Later, upon hearing about Kabani's life story, Shiki sympathized and changed his attitude towards Kabani. Inugami assigned Shiki and Akira to take Kabani to meet Inari, a fox elf who controls the police force. At the police station they met Kan, a fox girl running for Inari. However, Inari only wanted to meet Kabani. She had known about Kabani from Inugami, so she wanted to see his life stone. Inari said that the life stone was very beneficial for her, so she took it and cut off Kabani's head. Inari kept the head and called someone to destroy his body. Kan disguised himself as Kabani Castle and took his head out. She encounters Shiki and Akira on the way in. Because Shiki called Inari an old fox, it angered Kan to reveal his true form. Kan set fire to the police station to kill Shiki and Akira. The others in the police station were all manipulated by Inari, so they were no longer aware of the danger. Shiki got the suitcase from Kan's hand, and the two kids panicked when they saw Kabani's head talking. Kan frantically rushes to claim Kabani's head, but he immediately asks Shiki to throw his head at the fox girl. Kabani bit hard on Kan's shoulder, causing the fox to collapse. The surroundings returned to normal while Kabani gradually recovered his body. The three came out of the station and met Inugami waiting for them outside. It seemed that everything was according to the detective's plan. At the same time, Inari also discovered that the life stone she held in her hand was a fake. They were invited to eat by Inugami to welcome Kabani to join. On the way back to the office, Kan suddenly appeared to take back Kabani's head. But the girl fainted because she was so hungry that we took her home and gave her pizza. Kan is an honest and loyal girl. Even while eating, she asks to steal Kabani's head for Inari. Inugami knew so used the name Inari to tame the little fox girl. Kabani wonders why half of Inugami's office is a bar, to which Shiki explains that Inugami's former partner is a keeper who likes to open pubs. Inugami's bar is currently receiving a drunk customer. He is in love with a girl but doesn't know anything about her. Heard that Kabani wants to take the job this time because he wants to understand more about love. Shiki and Kabani accompany the guest and meet his beloved cat, Mao. Although she only wants to take advantage of the men she is seduced by and turn them into cats. But when listening to the other guy confess, Mao was touched by that sentiment. The task was therefore considered completed. Khan was determined to get Kabani's head, so Inugami disguised an orange as Kabani's head for her to bring back. One day, Kabani was cleaning the warehouse when suddenly an arm from behind the door pulled him inside. Inugami went to find Kabani with Mihai, a vampire. He kidnapped Kabani to be his personal servant. Mihai has always locked himself in this room and no one knows of his existence but Inugami. Inugami said that the Mihai are an immortal race and are superior in every way. He was inherently diligent and in understanding all things. But when he did everything he could, he began to feel the world was boring, from which he plunged into online games and isolated from the world. Inugami is a technology-blind man, so he hired Mihai to be in charge of information technology for the office. In order to free Kabani from Mihai, the kids competed with him in arm wrestling, but no one could beat Mihai including Kabani. Kabani meets Khan while shopping. She is sad because Inari has a new waiter and doesn't care about her anymore. Kabani advised Khan to go back to the office with her, but Ms. Ho Lee didn't want to. And Kabani has to go back on a mission, so he promises to come back to her. At home, Mihai often goes out of the room, surprising Inugami. It turned out that because Mihai's arm was injured while wrestling with Kabani, he couldn't play the game. Mihai tricked Inugami into a room and assigned 3 kids the task of investigating a strange company. Due to his camouflage ability, Shiki separated from the group and went alone with a spy vehicle. He discovered that the workers here had to work all night, and if they tried to escape, they would be brainwashed by 3 mosquito goblins and then return to work unconsciously. According to Inugami, this is Kananba, a type of mosquito elf that likes to drink blood, organs, and brains. The 3 children tried to withdraw to discuss further with Inugami but Mihai didn't want to, so made a sound to alarm Kananba. Shiki was almost discovered, but Mihai promptly electrocuted the mosquito goblin lying flat. Because she was too scared, Shiki revealed her weakness to Mihai's pleasure. Shiki remembers the past when he was with his mother, and her death seems to be the source of the fear he has now. Kabani was with Akira searching for Shiki when he captured a Kananba. Shiki is being poisoned by the mosquito's saliva, so he can't detoxify. Being provoked by Mihai, he was angry that Tri was able to move again and started the attack by spinning a web. He succeeded in defeating a Kananba. The party gathered and tied up the 2 captured Kananba. The eldest sister of the 2 goblins appeared and sucked the brains of the 2 younger siblings to become stronger. Mihai advises Kabani, if you want to win and still love mosquitoes, use your half-love power. Kabani awakened his power and quickly defeated the Kananba. Right after Kabani's victory, Nobumeru, Inari's new subordinate, appeared and disposed of the bodies of the 3 Kananba sisters. In addition, he also stated that Inari still hadn't given up on kicking Kabani's life, and advised him to be careful. The next day, Kabani suddenly remembered that he had forgotten Khan in the playground, and rushed to meet her. Inugami and the others visit their old hometown, with Shiki in to meet his uncle Akio, and a pink-haired girl named Aya. Shiki mentioned his mother to Akio and asked him to tell more of her story. I thought that talking would help me get over my long-standing obsession, but it only seemed to make Shiki feel heavier. While they were taking a bath, Nobumeru suddenly appeared and went with Kabani to see fireflies. Shiki accidentally saw a familiar tree stump that reminded him of a part of his forgotten memory. He followed that to a secret laboratory in the forest. Shiki had come here once when he was a child, and the horrifying scene in the room has haunted him to this day. He forgot everything because someone hit him hard on the head. At the same time, Akio is telling Inugami about the crime he committed against Shiki and his daughter. It turns out that Shiki's mother is the legendary spider elf. She develops feelings for Akio's brother and gives birth to Shiki. Unfortunately, Shiki's father died early while climbing, leaving Shiki and his mother to rely on Akio. Because he wants to take advantage of the power of spiders, Akio used Shiki to force his mother to mate with hundreds of demon species to produce a hybrid demon that can produce golden silk to cure all diseases. Akio's crimes were recorded by Inugami, and Shiki also overheard their conversation. Shiki surfaced to kill Akio, but hundreds of hybrid demons immediately rushed to protect him. Inugami parried Akira but was poisoned, making him unable to summon his gun. These monsters use their mother's love for Shiki to make him lose his mind. Kabani defeated all the monsters in an instant and then handed the power to decide Akio's fate to Shiki. Beside the lake, Inugami successfully detoxified thanks to the little girl Aya. While everyone was surrounding Akio, little Aya ran up to him and asked him about her golden cocoon. Akio angrily yells at her about her refusal to stay at home and asks her to help him survive this time. Shiki doubts Aya's identity, but she says that she will tell everything after finding the gold. With Mihai's help, Aya locates the golden cocoon in the lake where Inugami once detoxified. Shiki swims to the bottom of the lake only to find his mother wrapped in a cocoon and still alive. He brings his mother out of the lake, and at this point, Aya reveals that she is his half-sister. Worried about her mother's health, Shiki took her to the clinic of a tiny old woman named Ohana. Due to psychological trauma, Shiki's mother never woke up. Aya really wanted to visit her mother's room but was shy because she thought that because of her, he and his mother had to suffer. Noticing Aya's concern, Shiki called her into her room and explained that she was not wrong, and thanks to her that her mother was still alive. When the two brothers were talking, their mother woke up and everyone was overjoyed. After spending time with her mother and sister, Shiki returns to work at the detective agency. Accompanying him was the little girl Aya, and when she confessed to Kabane, Khan's eyes were red with jealousy. Due to being too busy, Inugami assigned the children the task of investigating the case of girls being attacked. This time Kabani will go with Aya and Khan. Because she was so useless, Khan was left by the other two on the road. She suddenly heard a shady voice saying that she would help her. On the other side, Kabani saved little Aya from an invisible demon, this time attacking the girls with the desire to have a human body. Seeing that Kabani was intimate with Aya, Khan got angry and attacked her, causing Kabani to injure her hand while trying to protect Aya. After the three returned to the office, Aya also left, and Kabani went to Khan to comfort her. Akira's favorite teddy bear suddenly broke, so he asked Mihai to fix it. Because of his clumsy nature, Akira is always teased by Kabani and Shiki, making him feel sorry for him and decide to run away from home. On the way, the boy meets his long-lost brother. It turns out that Akira and his brother Yui are twins. They used to live in the snow village. Akira and Yui love each other very much, so he misses Yui a lot when he goes missing. Because Akira was so happy to see his brother again that he didn't know that Kabani and Shiki were missing him. At night, because there was no place to stay, Yui turned into an ice castle so that the two brothers would not sleep on the street. Inugami followed the location that Mihai had secretly inserted into Akira's teddy bear and found the boy. At this time, Akira is locked in the ice castle by his brother. The three of them find the place and confront Yui. As they struggled, the Inugami and the others noticed a stone shaped like Kabani's lifestone that was pinned to Yui's heart. Inugami explains that it is a void stone that carries the power of destruction and resurrection. When he realized that the old uncle holding the gun was Inugami, Yui thanked him for taking care of Akira all these years. But because the Inugami and the others were determined to take Akira away, Yui froze them and brought them into the castle. Seeing the group of Inugami frozen makes Akira extremely desperate, thinking that everyone is dead. Fortunately, he suddenly remembered that Kabani was an immortal demon and the other two were told that he was still alive. Akira tried to find a way to melt the ice quickly. At that moment, Yui returned after picking up the medicine, scared Akira, and after a while, Yui went out again. Taking this opportunity, Kabani broke the ice himself to save Akira. But what he received was an estranged word from his friend that he did not want to return to the detective office. Actually, Akira did this to prevent Kabani from fighting Yui since he didn't want more casualties. Out there, Inari and Nobumeru have come with the purpose of stealing the Void Stone. Inari offers to help Kabani save Inugami and Shiki, but instead he has to get the damaged stone back for her. Akira was leaving the castle with Yui when he encountered Nobumeru. Because he didn't want Akira to join the war, Yui locked him up. Wanting to know more about her parents, Kabani is determined to get the Void Stone from Yui. Kabani rushed to save Nobumeru and the two joined forces to deal with Yui. Nobumeru ignited Kabani to maximize its destructive power, causing Yui to create an ice armor for defense, but was still unable to withstand Kabani's dozens of fiery punches. After many attempts, Akira was able to escape from Yui's ice cage. Just when he was about to be defeated by Kabani, Akira stood in front to protect Yui. Because he was about to run out of life, Yui's body gradually cracked. In order to save his brother's life, Akira defiantly pulled the void stone from his brother, but he saw the painful past that Yui had always tried to hide. It turns out that Yui has always endured the abuse of the women in the ice village. To protect her brother from the women, he accepted to become the village chief on the condition that he let Akira leave the village. Kabani sacrifices her life stone to save Yui, and the two stones accidentally merge into one, thereby saving Yui. Yui wakes up and tells everyone that it was he who destroyed the snow village, because the women there broke their promise and wanted to capture Akira when he left the village. Yui mentioned the battle between humans and demons 1,000 years ago when Kabani asked him about the void stone. At that time, the demon stones were born to prevent war between humans and demons from happening again, and it would be passed on to the descendants of the strongest demon races. Up to the present time, the demon stone is scattered all over Japan. To get more information about her parents, Kabani has to go get a lot of demon stones. Yui gave Kabani the void stone back because it would be more useful to him. Yui kept planning to go on a trip with Akira to repent of her mistakes. The movie ends here. Please subscribe and press the bell button to wait for the next videos. Hello and see you all again.